करना सब बकवास है। लीडर पता है कौन होता है? लीडर वो होता है जो पेन से प्यार करना सीख जाता है।
हम्म।
जो रास्ता लीडर चुनता है ना, वो पेन का रास्ता होता है, वो कांटों भरा होता है, दर्द भरा होता है, दर्दनाक होता है। इसलिए कहते हैं ना, लीडर ऑलवेज वॉक अलोन एंड लीडर चूजेस अनट्रॉडन पाथ। वो ऐसा रास्ता चुनता है जिस पर कभी कोई गया ही ना हो, और वो इसीलिए होता है क्योंकि वो पेनफुल इतना, बहुत पेनफुल होता है। ये आप लोग की सोच
इवेंचुअली
है,
ही गेट्स द रिवॉर्ड।
ये आप लोग की सोच है। जब कभी आप लोग को ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी, ये लीडरशिप रोल में आओगे, तो लग पता चलेगा कि जो ट्रू लीडर होता है ना, वो पेन को एक्सेप्ट करता है, गले लगाता है, और उसको उस रास्ते से गुजरना पड़ता है। इब्राहिम को इश्क की आग से गुजरना पड़ा,
हम्म।
उसको गुजरना पड़ा, उसके सिवा वो रास्ता नहीं। लेकिन फिर उसका मकाम क्या था इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम का? अल्लाह ताला ने क्या बोला इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम के लिए? डू यू नो? डू यू नो,
हम्म।
एनीवन ऑफ यू नो कि इब्राहिम
No.
अलैहिस्सलाम को क्या मुकाम दिया गया?
दोस्त अल्लाह ताला के करीब रकीब
बेस्ट
में से एक।
फ्रेंड, बेस्ट फ्रेंड। अल्लाह ताला खुद कहते हैं कि इब्राहिम मेरा बेहतरीन
रकीब।
दोस्त है, सबसे सबसे ज्यादा प्यार करने वाला दोस्त है। फिर उसको क्या क्या लकब दिए गए? मिल्लता अबीकुम इब्राहिम, कि इब्राहिम तुम मिल्लतों के अभी हो, बाप हो। मिल्लता अबीकुम इब्राहिम, ये मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को भी रुतबा नहीं मिला, उनको बाप नहीं कहा गया किसी का। बट इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम इज द फादर ऑफ द एंटायर नेशंस। अभी मैनकाइंड जितनी भी है, आदम नहीं है बाप, आदम नहीं है, इब्राहिम इज द फादर, बिकॉज उनसे नस्ल चली हजरत इस्माइल एंड हजरत इसहाक। इस तरह से पूरी नेशन हमारी चल रही है। एंड यू विल सी कि हर रिलीजन में इब्राहिम, ब्राह्मण, इसको माना गया है। नोबडी डिनाइज इब्राहिम, नोबडी, ये रुतबा और ये मकाम। क्यों? क्यों? अल्लाह की हर
हाँ, हार्डशिप।
पार किया,
हम्म।
हर वो आजमाइश को पार किया जो बड़ा खूब
कोई और नहीं कर
कह
सकता।
रहे थे। उसने कहा कि वो इस हद तक उन्होंने क्लियर, कहते हैं ना कि एक स्टूडेंट होता है और 100 मार्क्स का पेपर होता है, और वो 100 में से उसका पेपर इतना अच्छा हुआ होता है कि ट्यूटर मजबूर हो जाता है उसको 110 देने में। वो मजबूर हो जाते हैं, तो अल्लाह ताला मजबूर हो गए कि वो हर हर आजमाइश को उन्होंने क्लियर किया विद फ्लाइंग कलर्स। एंड वो इश्क के हर इम्तिहान को उन्होंने पार किया, हत्ता कि इस्माइल अलैहिस्सलाम की जब बात आई कि भाई कुर्बान कर दो इसको मेरी राह में, मेरी मोहब्बत में, तो आप सोचे तो सही, एक लम्हा इमेजिन तो करें। वो फादर, being a father and becoming a father after such a long time, सच लॉन्ग वेट, और इतनी दुआओं और मन्नतों के बाद एक बेटा आया, और जैसे ही वो 12-14 साल का होता है, तो अल्लाह ताला बोलता है कि भाई दे दो इन्हें, मैंने ही दिया ना तुम्हें, किस बात पे इतरार, कुर्बान कर दो। खुद पे जरा रख के सोचें, जस्ट इमेजिन द फीलिंग ही वेंट थ्रू, द इमोशनल डिलेमा, and then he was ready, was
आई
ready
कांट
to,
इवन इमेजिन।
was ready to। बस ये कहानियां, ये बहस सिर्फ एक कहानी नहीं है, ये जिंदगी है। ये जिंदगी की वो लेसन्स हैं जो हमें इन स्टोरीज के जरिए, और ये सिर्फ स्टोरी नहीं है, ये रियल लाइफ इंसिडेंट्स हैं जो हमारे प्रॉफिट्स और बड़े बड़े वलीउल्लाह, सूफी, नबी, पैगंबर, रसूल, इनके मकामात इतने ऊंचे नहीं है। ये बहुत पेनफुल रास्ता है। एक लम्हे को सोचिए, हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को आज पूरी दुनिया नंबर 1 पर्सन मानती है, जो इन्फ्लुएंशियल पर्सन इन द इंटायर वर्ल्ड, इन द इंटायर ह्यूमन मैनकाइंड, द मोस्ट इन्फ्लुएंशियल नंबर 1। और ये मैं और आप नहीं कह रहे, ये कौन कह रहा है? माइकल हार्ट इन हिज बुक टॉप 10 इन्फ्लुएंशियल पीपल, और रैंक नंबर 1 मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। रैंक नंबर 2, जीसस। सो रैंक नंबर 1 वो मजबूर हो गया, क्यों? क्यों? क्योंकि हर डायमेंशन में, हर डोमेन में, चाहे वो पॉलिटिकल हो, चाहे वो इकोनॉमिकल हो, चाहे वो फैमिली हो, चाहे वो सोशल हो, चाहे वो रिलीजियस हो, उन सब में उन्होंने बेहतरीन मिसाल कायम की। और अगर आप हुजूर पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की हिस्ट्री या बायोग्राफी देखेंगे तो आप हैरान होंगे कि पेन के सिवा कुछ भी नहीं। एक 6 साल का बच्चा जिसकी माँ का इंतकाल हो जाए, जब वो पैदा होता है वालिद पहले ही फौत हो चुके होते हैं। वो 6 साल का बच्चा, कभी आपने जरा अपनी 6 साल उम्र की जिंदगी में जाके तो देखें, इमेजिन तो करें एक लम्हे के लिए, जस्ट टू फील द पेन। 6 year old child loses his mother, he has no father, दादा के साथ रहने लगा। 8 साल की उम्र में दादा भी फौत हो, चचा के साथ रहने लगा। और फिर 40 साल तक इंसानी खिदमत, इंसानियत का दर्द दिल में लेकर चलते रहे कि ये क्या हो रहा है मेरी कौम के साथ। क्यों बेटियों को दफना दिया जाता है पैदा होते ही? क्यों इतना जुल्म का मामला है? क्यों अमीर जो है गुलाम को हकीर समझता है और अपने बराबर, मतलब इंसानियत के दर्जे से भी नीचे लेवल की ट्रीटमेंट होती है स्लेव की। ना कपड़े दिए जाते हैं, ना खाना, और अगर एक गलती हो जाए तो ऐसी सजाओं के बम्बार। कभी चाबुक लग रहे हैं, कभी पत्थर पे लिटाए जा रहे हैं, कभी। एक इंसान की सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट होती है। एक होता है आप
हम्म।
टॉर्चर करो, फिजिकल टॉर्चर, मार मार के कुछ उम्र बना दो बंदे का, सही है, आप खा लोगे मार, भूखा भी रह
नो।
लोगे। मगर जब आपकी इज्जत नफ्स को टीज किया जाएगा ना, कि तुम काले, तुम बिलाल, तुम्हारी हैसियत क्या, तुम्हारी औकात क्या, तुम तो इंसान कहलाने के भी लायक नहीं हो, तुम तो कीड़े हो गए के, तुम्हारी माँ ने किसको जना है। जब ऐसे ऐसे बौतान और ऐसे ऐसे लफ्ज जब इंसान सुनता है तो उसकी इज्जत नफ्स मजबूर होती है, और अच्छी खासी मजबूर होती है। हम तो सोच नहीं सकते कि वो किस तकलीफ से गुजरे। और ये सारी तकलीफें मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम देख रहे थे बहैसियत लीडर, महसूस कर रहे थे, मदद कर रहे थे, खामोशी से गारों में जाके सोचते, गौर व फिक्र करते इस तकलीफ में कि मेरी कौम को क्या हो गया, मेरी कौम को क्या हो गया। फिर एक दिन आवाज आती है, इकरा बिस्मि रब्बिकल लज़ी, इकरा मोहम्मद इकरा। वो लरज उठते हैं, वो बोलते हैं मैं तो पढ़ा लिखा भी नहीं हूँ, हालांकि अरबी जबान है और अरबी में के वहाँ रहने वाले सब कुछ है, मगर क्या कहते हैं, मैं पढ़ नहीं सकता, मैं तो पढ़ा लिखा ही नहीं हूँ, मैं कैसे करूँगा। खशियत में आ जाते हैं और हजरत खदीजा के पास डर के भाग जाते हैं कि खदीजा मैं हलाक हो जाऊंगा, खशियत से मैं हलाक हो जाऊंगा, डर जाते हैं। जिस दिन जवाब आता है डर जाते हैं। हजरत खदीजा कहती हैं कि भाई आप हलाक हो जाएंगे तो फिर अल्लाह बचाएगा किसको? आप तो मिस्कीनों के वो करने वाले, हमदर्दी करने वाले, बेवाओं की वो करने वाले, यतीमों को सर पे हाथ रखने वाले, आपको अल्लाह अगर हलाक कर देगा तो फिर छोड़ेगा किसको इस दुनिया में? सो शी मोटिवेशन फॉर हिम। एंड फिर आप देखें, पेन के बाद पेन, पेन के बाद पेन, हजरत खदीजा का भी इंतकाल हो जाता है। अपने सगे लोग जिनके साथ 40 साल गुजार दिए गए हों, और जो खुद इस बात की गवाही दे रहे हो कि तुम अमीन हो, तुम सादिक हो, तुम सच्चे हो, और फिर उसी को बोल रहे हैं कि तुम झूठे हो, तुम अल्लाह एक है ये कहते हो, तुम झूठे हो, तुम हुकूक देते हो गुलामों को, आजाद करते हो उन्हें, अपने बराबर लाके खड़ा कर देते हो, तुम तो मजनू हो। ऐसी ऐसी बातें जब आप अपनों से ही सुनते हो ना, तो बड़ी तकलीफ होती है, बड़ी तकलीफ होती है। गैरों से सुनो तो वो तो पता है गैर ही है,
हम्म।
दुश्मन ही है, दुश्मनों ने तो दुश्मनी ही निकाली है, मगर जब अपने खिलाफ हो जाए, और अपने सगे चाचा और खानदान वाले और कबीले वाले जो 40 साल से आपको जानते हैं, जो आपको देख रहे हैं कि आप यतीम थे और आप कैसे बड़े हुए, और आपसे ज्यादा अमानतदार इस शहर में कोई नहीं, आपसे ज्यादा सिद्दीक इस शहर में कोई नहीं, चाहे वो काफिर हो चाहे वो कोई भी हो, हर कोई ये गवाही देने को तैयार, और फिर आपके ऊपर इतनी बड़ी बोतान, झूठा, मजनू, और तुम हमें कहीं का नहीं छोड़ोगे, तुम हमारे ये तजारत के रास्ते बंद कर दोगे, क्या है ये सभी, क्या हो रहा है। लीडर पेन से गुजर रहे हैं, पेन से गुजर रहे हैं। फिर मदीना में मस्जिद बना रहे हैं, तो एक सहाबा आके कहते हैं कि या नबी खुदा, मैं तो, मुझे बड़ी, आप देखें मेरा क्या भूख से हाल हो गया, मैंने पत्थर बांध रखे हैं अपने पेट में। तो अपनी कमीज उठा के क्या दिखाते हैं सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम, दो पत्थर बने, दो पत्थर। कहानियां नहीं सुना रही, वो हकीकत है। एक लीडर की जिंदगी, अगर लीडर बनना चाहते हो, कोई लीडरशिप रोल में आना चाहते हो, पेन से मोहब्बत करना सीखो, पेन को एक्सेप्ट करना सीखो। आफ्टर द पेन द ग्रोथ हैपेंस, आफ्टर द पेन, चाहे वो इमोशनल हो चाहे वो फिजिकल। ऑलराइट, कमिंग बैक टू दिस पार्ट बी, द फॉर्मेशन एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, हम कहाँ तक पढ़ चुके थे। लॉ ऑफ टॉर्ट्स कर लिया था, कोई सवाल याद था?
नो मैम।
फॉर्मेशन एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन
मैम
ऑफ,
एक क्वेश्चन था वो एमसीक्यू वाला, मैंने आपको लाइक पिक्चर भेजी थी
कॉपी
टेस्ट के
किया
बीच
था
में।
आपने? अच्छा, मैंने देखा नहीं, मैं देख
बस वो देख लिएगा आप बाद में, जब आप क्लास ले लेना उसके बाद, ठीक है?
रही।
बस बाकी कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं।
राइट। सो द फॉर्मेशन एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एजेंसी लॉ हम कर चुके हैं, अब हमने किसमें जाना है? पार्टनरशिप, पेज 171।
Page 171.
Right. Partnerships. What do you understand by this word? Partnership.
Partnership, like the state of being partners, their roles.
When we are sharing our profit and loss with the other person,
You should
when two of the person are linked up in one entrepreneurship.
profit and
And
loss
they're sharing anything
partnership.
with the other person,
So
not
basically,
just
what we are going to study in this chapter is all about partnership and any laws, if there are any, regarding the partnership. Okay. So let's start reading. Ali, please read. Partnership is defined.
partnership is defined as the relation which uh, subsists between persons carrying on business in common with a view of profit. A partnership is not a separate legal person is distinct from its member. It is merely a relation between the persons. Each person, there must be a two, at least two, is personally liable for all the debts of the firm.
Right. So it's a relationship between persons. Number one, A.
Number one.
Then, of course, they are doing a business in order to generate profit. So they will be deciding that how the profit and the loss would be distributed. Okay, that's B. A partnership is not
It's
a
not a
separate
separate
legal person distinct from its
thing from its
members,
member.
as is the case in the company. Company is different, it has distinct legal entity, separate personality, artificial person considered to be, members and the company are not the same. Okay, whereas in partnership the members, the partners and the firm are the same. Clear? So that's number 3. Each partner is personally reliable for all debts of the firm. This is number 4. All partners are personally liable for all the debts. जितने भी debts हैं, जितनी भी liability है, आप भी responsible हो, मैं भी responsible हूँ, अली भी responsible है, किंजा भी responsible है. Why? Because we all are partners. अगर हम तीनों में से कोई एक भाग जाता है, कोई उसका इंतकाल हो जाता है, anything
बाकी दो.
happens, the other two will be completely responsible and liable. Okay.
Okay.
Next, definition of partnership. Kinza, please read.
Partnership is a relation which subsists between persons carrying on a business in common with a view of profit.
All right. Carrying a business in common with a view of profit. Understood. Okay. Partnership Act 1890 covers unlimited partnership. We shall look at how the Act applies the above definition. So let's see the relation which subsists between persons. What's the relation? Who is a person? Person includes a corporation such as a registered company as well as an individual living person. Yani business may say the word person. You not only mean a person as an individual living person, but you also mean registered company. Okay? Carrying on a business. Business can include every trade, occupation, profession. 3 points should be noted. Kinza, read.
A business is a form of activity. If two or more persons are merely the passive joint owners of revenue producing property, such as rented houses, that fact does not make them partners. A business can consist of a single transaction. These situations are often described as joint ventures. Carrying on a business must have a beginning and an end. A partnership begins when the partner agrees to conduct their business activity together.
Okay. Yes, please explain, Kinza.
From the first point, we're getting the idea that there should be an activity between these two partners. Like they should be deciding something, that what actually business are we looking forward for. The second thing, single transaction, there should always it can never be a business
Single transaction.
single transactions. A business can consist of a single transaction. These situations are often described as. I think joint ventures means that the business can also have like sometimes there are silent partners. One of the partner is doing all the functional things, and the other one is just financially maybe
What do you
financially
mean by
supporting.
when you understand this concept that a business can consist of a single transaction? यानी एक लेन देन का अमल होता है और वो भी बिजनेस कहलाता है. A single transaction can consist of a business. What do you mean by that? A single
Is
transaction.
it like is it the investment or capital we are putting it in?
It could be anything.
Can you think of a business कि जिसमें सिर्फ एक ही transaction हो?
No.
See, when you kind of the same thing which Kinza said, investment. You're investing in a bank, you're investing in a project, you're maybe giving your finance in a partnership firm. You yourself are not involved in doing anything, but you are just putting in your finance. When you put in your finance from your side, it's only single transaction has happened. You have transferred some cash. But on the other hand, that single transaction will allow the chain to continue and more activities will be happening in that particular company related to the business, related to the activities. And ultimately, it will give you business, who you will get your own share. There is one more thing. When you purchase a share of any company, can you call it a business deal?
Can you call it as a business deal?
A business deal. You purchase share of any company.
I guess yes.
Yes, of course. Why not? Because intention kya hai? To generate profit, and any activity, any work you are doing with the intention to generate profit can be considered as a business. Okay. Next, carrying on a business must have a beginning and an end. Of course, there is a beginning and an end.
Yes. There's a contract in which we always have a due date.
Exactly. Next, in common, a view of profit. Again, in common means what? They are joint proprietors of the business, the partners. We are talking about partners over here, and they want to make profit. And even if there is a loss, they will be agreeing upon some term and condition that okay, agar loss hua, so what would be the ratio of share?
Ma'am, what is meant by joint venture? I didn't get that point.
Joint venture is also a kind of partnership. Okay, it's also
Okay.
a kind of partnership, and in this partnership, similar things happen just like in partnership. And joint ventures basically two business join hands, two companies or two businesses join hands, not only two individuals. They combine together or they come together for a project which might be called a joint venture. there's a project C happening, and they both might come together for this particular project, which is called joint.
Okay.
Okay, next, consequences of the definition. Terminology, liability of the partners. Okay, please read from your terminology.
Terminology. The word for okay.
The word firm is correctly used to denote a partnership. It is not correct to apply it to a registered company, through the newspaper often do so. The word company may be part of the name of partnership, for example, Smith and Company, but limited company or registered company is only applied to a properly registered company.
All right. So is this point clear that what name is used for partnership?
Hmm.
It's the firm. Firm is the correct word used to denote a partnership company. Though there are cases, there are names like Smith and Company of some companies which of some partnerships which give the name of the company like Smith and Company. But you cannot put limited company after the name. You are not a registered company. You are not officially and formally a company. You are a firm because you are a partnership. Next, liability of the partners. Ali.
Every partner is liable without limits for the debts of the partnership. That means the creditor can require a partner to settle an invoice if the partnership fails to pay, and the partners good must make good the participants partnerships that if the debt is terminated and does not have a sufficient asset to pay what it owes. It is possible to register a limited partnership in which one or more individual partners had limited liability, but the limited liability may not take a part in the management of the business. The
Okay,
limited partnership,
that's
yeah.
it. यहाँ तक क्या बात समझ आ रही है?
यहाँ तक ये आ रहा है कि जो है ना every partner is like there is like you can say personal liability created when there is a partnership, not only limited to the company. Uh, Means if any of the business, any of the person fails to pay the liability, then whole of the team will be responsible for that
For whatever share they have decided.
Okay.
until in the last asset is sold of his personal like partners equity.
And this is opposite
um,
of what?
and
This entire system
hmm,
of liability of the partners, opposite of what?
equals to the
It's
like
opposite to a company member liability.
hmm, yeah, company, normal company, which is
कंपनी
like
का
with
जो मेंबर होता है उसकी कितनी लाइबिलिटी होती है अली?
limited होती है मैम वो that is like up to his like share into the company.
Exactly, exactly. That means in case of a default or in case of a loss, he will not be personally liable for that loss. He will be
Right,
only liable up to the amount of the shares or up to the amount he committed to put into.
right.
That is limited liability. And on the other hand, the partners have unlimited liability. That means they would be held responsible even if there is a loss, there's a default, anything. They can bring into their personal assets as well to pay off the debts, and they must do it because they are liable for it. Next,
Okay.
forming an unlimited liability partnership. Partnerships can be formed very informally, but there may be complex formalities to ensure clarity. So informal हो सकता है partnership. Can you give an example for an informal partnership?
Like two brothers are working together.
Two brothers working together in a family business, or
Friends and any other relative, or just someone we just know, and it's not a very huge business, or maybe just
Two
a
people of the
small
same
one.
business joins hands together.
No, then they would be formal. Then it's going to be
any
with
social
with an
partnership,
agreement.
any social family level partnership.
For them,
Husband
Sorry,
and
ma'am.
wife.
yeah, and
Ma'am, husband wife, they are like, they're not informally, like they obviously have an agreement.
no, that will fall under informal.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Why informal?
Until unless it's a code marriage.
They mutually agree. They mutually agree. First बात पक्की होती है, फिर मंगनी होती है, फिर बातें शातें होती हैं लंबी लंबी.
I see informal.
right? So it can be formed informally, definitely, and of course if you want to
आजकल
announce it.
बंदूक की जोर पे भी हो रही है मैम.
क्या अली? हाँ, क्या दिमाग चल रहा है तुम्हारा?
मैम अली का दिल टूटा हुआ है,
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
दिल से
मैम
बात
continue
निकली है.
दिल टूटा हुआ नहीं है तो मतलब दिल जुड़ा हुआ है. हाँ हाँ हाँ, सही.
हाँ.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Happy with whatever it
मैम
is.
तभी अली से सुबह नहीं उठा जाता.
हाँ, अब राज खुला ना, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता खुल.
अब क्लास रात को रखनी पड़ेगी अली के टाइम
क्लास
के
में नहीं
लिए.
बतानी थी. चलो.
All right, next. Common formation, formalities. Uh, okay, no need for this. The partnership agreement, yes. Kinza, partnership agreement.
A written partnership agreement is not legally required. In practice, there are advantages in settling down in writing the terms of the partners association.
All right, एक बात यहाँ पे तय होगी कि कानून या लॉ हमें अलाउ लीगली जरूरी नहीं या कंपल्शन नहीं कर रहा कि आप जब पार्टनरशिप में एंटर हो तो आप इसको फॉर्मल करें, लीगल करें,
स्टैम्प पेपर
रजिस्टर
में गए
कराएं.
हैं.
It is not by law. If you do it, it's easier for you. आने वाले कॉन्फ्लिक्ट से बच जाओगे. If you don't do it, the law, the state is not imposing it. It's entirely up to you. Okay, next.
It fills the details which the law would not imply. The nature of firm's business, its name, and the bank at which the firm will maintain its account, for instance. They're talking about the agreement that the first they will be filling up the details, whatever is just the facts. There aren't any laws in the first filling thing. A written agreement serves to override terms otherwise implied by the Partnership Act 1890, which may be inappropriate to the partnership. The act, for example, implies that partners share profit equally. If we go with the act with act 1890, then it says that both partner have like 50-50 shares. But according to us, it's not, we are not liable that all the partners, both the partners are going to have same ratio. They can have 20-80, whatever they decide. Addition clause can be developed. Exclusion clauses are an example, and they provide a mechanism to expel a partner where there would be no ability to do otherwise. Just like the exclusion clause, there can also be other clause. If we have written it, then obviously after the whenever we'll be needing the agreement, we can just go with it. If there is an extra clause there.
It is called expulsion clauses. Expulsion, when you expel a
Expel
partner,
the other partner. Yeah.
when you want to kick out another partner from this entire agreement, then what are the clauses or what will be the procedure? So we have 3 points regarding the agreement. The first one, you need to definitely mention the name of the organization, the whatever partnership you want to create, your bank details and everything. It should be clearly mentioned who would be the partners. Second point, serves to override terms. How would your agreement and the agreement set by the law, that is Partnership Act 1890, is a law which gives us a set of rules or framework that how you can enter into a partnership agreement. Or in case you personally don't want to create the terms and condition of the partnership, and for example, like there's an example of two brothers, they want to enter into the business, okay, and they do not have any written contract, and after a year or two maybe they start having conflicts, and now they want to just separate, so they want to sort the case. So how will they sort the case? They will seek help from the court, and when they go to the court,
Partnership
what will the court say? Bring the agreement. They will say, we don't have any agreement, we just mutually, we are brothers, it's our father's business, we just joined, and he is doing this and he's saying he's doing this and he's doing that, and he's blaming me and he's taking away my rights. So now what is the court supposed to do? The court will take out the Partnership Act, read the agreement, read the terms and conditions, and as per those, it's going to give the decision that, okay, partner A, you're supposed to do this, partner B, you're supposed to do this. Now both of you sort your matters, either continue with the partnership firm or you break up, and this is how you're going to, how the assets going to be divided. All right. Then the third one, expulsion clauses. It's better that you mention an expulsion clause so that later on, in case of a conflict, in case you want to chuck out a partner from the agreement, so then it becomes easy for you because it's all written down in the agreement. That's what agreement does to us, makes life easier. Then, terminating an unlimited liability partnership. Now, this is a question because when you have an unlimited liability as a partner, how are you going to terminate this partnership agreement, or how are you going to jump out of it when you are unlimitedly liable for it? So let's see. Ali, please read.
Partnership may be terminated by passing the time, termination of underlying venture, death or bankruptcy of a partner, illegally notice agreement, or by the court.
What are they doing?
Means first of all, there is if there is a timeline, then mentioned in the contract or in the like agreement, then on that date it will be terminated automatically. Second is on the death of any partner, it will terminate it automatically, and then you will have to re-sign again the new partnership, or if that was mentioned in the agreement. Third is if you do any legal job, legal activity, then and fourth is by the court, any notice by the court.
Right. So what are the things by which the partnership is going to get terminated, Kinza? Can you please repeat them?
Death, bankruptcy of one of the partner, and illegality. If one of the partner is obviously not following the rules or legal, then obviously it's going to be terminated. And notice, agreement, or by order of the court. If the court is ordering, obviously you have to follow that.
Right.
Timeline is
Yes.
time is missing.
Passing of time. Passing of time, that means your
Exactly.
deadline is over of the contract. Maybe it was a 3 years contract, 4 years contract, and it's over, complete. So, of course, then it gets terminated. Right? Next, events causing termination. Again, same things are
Same thing.
repeated. I would not like to go through it again. Authority of partners in an unlimited liability partnership. अथॉरिटी क्या है एक पार्टनर की किसी अनलिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप में? Kinza, please read.
The authority of partners to bind each other in contract is based on the principle of agency. In simple terms, a partner is the agent of the partnership and their co-partners. This means that some of their acts bind the other partners, either because they have or because they appear to have authority. The Partnership Act 1890 defines the authority of a partner to make contracts as follows.
What did you understand?
It's just they're just telling us that actually whatever we are doing, we are just following the Partnership Act 1890, which defines which partner has how much authority. And according to that, we'll be just considering it. Like, for example, one of the partner has like around 50-60% of the liability. So obviously that partner has more authority as compared to the other one.
Okay. What did you understand, Ali? Has Kinza explained it rightly?
I guess to the extent she's right. But what I get here is like one can make any decision in place of other as per the act.
Right. Why? Why can they take decision? Because they are agent. They are agent of each other. If the two brothers are partners and they are representing the same business, अगर एक भाई किसी contract में चला जाता है, तो that means the other partner is
Automatic.
also bound by it, right?
Yeah.
And if this partner goes into a contract, then this one is also bound by it. So that's how partnership works. You can't say that no, ये क्यों contract में गया?
Yeah, because it's a one firm.
अच्छा
It's a
भी
one
नहीं.
firm. Your firm is actually liable for everything you're doing.
A firm
You are
is
represented.
your partners, and when you are partners, you can be equal partners. You can be in ratio of 70-30. It's entirely up to your agreement. But usually,
Yeah.
partners are agents of each other, of the firm, and they can get into the contracts, and then you become legally bound to fulfill the contract. Okay. Every partner is an agent of the firm and their other partners for the purpose of the business of the partnership, and the acts of every partner who does any act for carrying on the usual way of business, if the kind carried on by the firm of which they are a member, bind the firm. Number one, they bind the firm by their actions, by their contracts, by their commitments. Number two, unless the partner so acting has in fact no authority, unless it is declared, it is announced that this is a minor partner and he has no authority, or maybe he is a unfit partner. क्योंकि मैंने ऐसा देखा है, there are three brothers. Two of them are of sound mind. The third brother is mentally retarded. So देखा जाए तो legally all three are partners in the business. All three are the righteous heirs of the business of the father. But mentally one is not capable. So it has to be announced कि ये बंदा capable नहीं है. So he will not. उसकी commitment और उसका contracts जो है will not be binding upon the firm. And
And that should be written in the firm's like
yeah, it can
you can
be
say guidelines.
it can be written, it can be announced verbally, it can be understood. And the person with whom they are dealing either knows they have no authority or does not know or believe them to be a partner. ठीक है, तो ये इन सारे केसेस में वो बाइंड नहीं करेंगे. Otherwise all the contracts will be binding. So the law
Okay.
is the contract is binding. If any
Firm.
partner enters the contract, it is binding by the firm. Everybody has to abide by it. Unless, and the exception is that unless the
Unless
partner is announced to be not having the authority due to any reason, can be any reason. Okay. Next, where a
okay.
partner pledges the credit of the firm for a purpose apparently not connected with the firm's ordinary course of business, the firm is not bound. All right, this is another law. So first law was this number one. We read over here in the first para. And the second is over here, where a partner pledges the credit of the firm. फर्म के लिए वो कोई क्रेडिट उठा रहा है और वो
Personal.
फर्म के नाम पे उठा रहे हैं मगर फर्म के काम में इस्तेमाल नहीं हो रहा.
नाम कुछ और है, काम कुछ और है. ठीक है मैम.
Exactly. Then the firm is not bound
He will be
unless
personally liability.
they are in fact specially authorized by other partners कि हाँ तुम personally भी जो उठाओगे liability वो हम भरेगा. ठीक.
Okay.
If it has been agreed between the partners that any restriction shall be placed on the power of any one or more of them to bind the firm, no act done in contravention of the agreement is binding on the firm with respect to the persons having notice of agreement. All right. अब अगर ये तीसरा लॉ है कि अगर उन्होंने अग्रीमेंट में खुद ही कोई ऐसा रिस्ट्रिक्शन क्लॉज लगाया हुआ है, then of course you have to abide by the agreement, you have to walk by it. Okay. Next.
Liability.
Liable. I think this is all repetition of the same point that we have been discussing. Okay, let's see who are the new partners and who are the retiring partners. Yes, Kinsa.
A new partner admitted to an existing firm is liable for debts incurred only after they become a partner. They are not liable for debts incurred before they were partners unless they agreed to become liable. Whatever is happening in a new contract, the previous contract, the previous liability, it's not going to be in between them. All the new businesses, everything new, they're going to deal with that, and they will be just distributing those debts, whatever are incurring now. Retiring partners, a partner who retire is still liable for an outstanding debt incurred while they were a partner, unless the creditor has agreed to release them from liability. They are also liable for debts for the firm incurred after their retirement if the creditors knew them to be a partner before retirement and has not had notice of their retirement. Therefore, it is vital on retirement that a partner give notice to all the creditors of the firm. The retired partners may have an indemnity from the remaining partners with respect to this issue.
Yes, what
They're telling us that if
what's the law?
they're telling us
Partners come into the organization, what's happening?
when we are coming to the organization, whatever has been done before, we are not liable. Both the partners does not come into that category and they're not liable. Whatever has been done before.
Whatever.
Like for example,
only after joining he is liable.
After the date they have signed the agreement, then they are liable.
What about the retiring partners, Ali?
Retiring partner means like if anyone is like getting retired, then like they have like the responsibility, they all have the responsibility to provide the notice to all of the creditors. If it is not done, then all the partners will be considered as a reliable,
Have
like
to give notice to all the creditors who is retiring, and the retiring partner must fulfill his liability before
before getting like off the company.
done. Now, moving ahead, I would like you to go through this entire part, and this is the last section of this chapter: limited liability partnership. Okay, and before this, there is only these two things: supervision and regulation. So, from here till the end, please take 5 minutes, go through it, and I'll get back to you.
Okay, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I am back. Where are you guys? पढ़ लिया? चैप्टर खत्म कर दिया? अब कौन समझाएगा मुझे? Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Thank God. I got my students back. And you must be thanking God you got your teacher back.
Yeah, I was feeling very sleepy without you.
All right. So yes, please read, and you must have read it. So just explain it to me and summarize it.
Mhm.
What all you went through.
Ma'am, they were telling us about how these relationship works. It is not important to always. First thing is
Okay, the first one. Let's start with the first supervision regulation. What's about this? Ali, where are you?
okay.
On with the wind.
Yeah, in the tax state, it is not always necessary to make up an agreement. But on the other hand, whenever you are a partner and you are filing up, you're disclosing your income. So at that time, you have to make sure that you mention it, your returns, your profits, and obviously in even normal businesses, you have to mention it. But you have to even mention that you are partners and your profit has been divided uh, equally or whatever the percentage is. So you have to mention it in your income statement if you're a partner.
Right. So supervision and regulation. Basically, number one, the law is that there is no formal statutory requirement for supervision
Mhm.
and regulation of partnerships. Of partnerships. But
Yeah.
there is one important thing that they must keep the track of the return of their profits for income tax and also register for VAT, for tax, whatever it is. But it is not on them to declare their financial statements as it is for the companies.
Yeah.
It's not for partnership firms. Okay.
Mhm.
Next, property. Partnerships can grant a mortgage or a fixed charge over a property. Yes or no?
property,
What
but
is a
cannot.
mortgage? What is a fixed charge? Yes, Ali.
Mortgage is like mortgage. There are two types, like mortgage interest or mortgage that is paid. Basically, कोई चीज गिरवी रखवाना.
कोई
So
चीज
if you are getting some like payment for it, you get that is mortgage interest. And if you are taking some asset on mortgage, then it means you are paying it on a like installment basis.
right. So
Interest on
partnerships can grant mortgage and fixed charge, but they cannot grant floating charges. All right. Keep in mind that though we are studying this chapter about partnerships, it is a comparison between partnership and a company.
Hmm.
Partnership firm and a company, it's always a comparison between these two. So when you're going to make your notes, make sure you make the notes parallel to each other. That partnership, all right, this is company, this is the difference. Over here the
Different.
liability is limited, over here it is unlimited. Whatever are the rules and regulations, you have to put place them accordingly for both
Yes.
in comparison. Now, partnerships can grant a mortgage, fixed charge over property, but it cannot grant floating charges. Whereas for a company, it can do both. Got it?
Ma'am, what is floating charge?
Floating charge is a charge on current assets, whereas fixed charge is a charge on non-current
Oh,
assets.
yes. Okay, okay.
Okay? Next, limited liability partnerships.
Ma'am, but it's written floating change, not charge. And there it's fixed charge. So what is the difference between
Oh no,
change
it
and
must be a small grammatical
okay, error.
typing error. Charges. Then
Okay.
limited liability partnerships. Who is going to explain this? Ali.
Yes. A limited liability partnership is combine the feature of like it's like you can say intermediate thing between the partnership and like company. So there will be a personal liability, but up to an certain extent.
Right. There will be a limitation, there will be a restriction. That's right. That means the rights which the members are enjoying in the company, those rights will be enjoyed by the partners in this kind of a setup. Limited liability partnership. Okay. A limited liability partnership LLP is a corporate body which has separate legal personality from its members and therefore some of the advantages and disadvantages of the company. Right? So now I hope it is clear that how you're going to make the notes and how you're going to learn the facts about partnership and company. Right?
Got it.
Formation, of course, a document must be signed, name of the LLP, location of the registered office, address of the registered office, name, address, which members are to be designated, registration fee, so on and so forth. This is just the learning part. Okay. Internal regulation. What is internal regulation? Who is going to explain?
LLP more flexible between the last and the... Yep, there will be a regulation, but not as much as in the corporate. But there will be some.
Okay, so LLPs are more flexible than companies as they provide similar protection for the owners, but with less statutory rules. Now, point to be noted. Again, a company and a partnership firm is different and will be different. The partners of a limited liability partnership will not enjoy all the rights that a company's member enjoys, but some of it with less statutory rules. Okay, and then they would come under the supervision of the registrar of companies. Why? Because they are LLP, and those who subscribe to the original incorporation document, they become the members of the LLP, and those admitted afterwards in accordance with the terms of partnership agreement. Rights and duties of partners will usually be set out in partnership agreement. Absence of this, then what is going to happen? We are going to follow the act, the regulation under the act, the partnership act. Okay, and there must be two designated members because of course it's a partnership, and partnership means that there are two partners.
Yeah, it can't be an individual
It can't be
person.
a single person's job. Okay, so here you go. Example of duties of an LLP's designated members: filing certain notices with the registrar, signing and filing accounts, appointing auditors if appropriate. All right, all of this you can learn. Then external relationships. External relationships, every member is an agent of the LLP. Authority is given and therefore all the members will be bound. ये तो हम basic चीजें शुरू से ही पढ़ रहे हैं. LLP will not be bound by the acts of the member where now LLP, because it's limited liability partnership, then certain actions will not be accepted. And where will they not be bound? When they have no authority and the third party is aware of the fact. Number two, they have ceased to be a member, they are a retired member, or maybe they have gone to another company, and the third party is aware of the fact. So the major condition over here is that the audience, third party is aware that you are no more the partner or you don't have that authority, but still it wants to enter into an agreement with you, or it wants to make a commitment with you. So then the LLP will not be liable to fulfill that commitment or contract. Next, dissolution. What is dissolution, Ali?
Dissolution means dissolving.
And when does it
dissolving the partnership, and when any of the person like leaves the partnership.
When it leaves, when any member leaves, it dissolves. Why? My question, why? We three
Because there is an
here, we are sitting. If I leave, that means it will dissolve. Why and how?
Because in future you won't be liable for the future businesses. So if you leave now, then obviously till now you're bound, you're liable, but later you won't be liable. Anything happens to the firm, nobody can ask you.
नहीं, बात तो यही है ना, किंसा डिसॉल्व हो रही है कंपनी. इट्स दे आर सेइंग कि हम तीन पार्टनर्स हैं और हमने एक फर्म बनाई, फर्म ए. It is saying, that statement is saying that if any one of us as partners, if I leave, one of us, that means I leave, or maybe Kinza leaves, maybe Ali leaves, A will dissolve, will finish. A will finish. A will dissolve. Okay. My question is, why? सिर्फ एक बंदा ही तो छोड़ के गया है, तो फिर पूरी फर्म को डिसॉल्व क्यों करें? क्या कंपनी ऐसे हो जाती है डिसॉल्व?
नो.
एक मेंबर के जाने से तो नहीं होती, but when there are partners, so obviously if one of the partner is leaving, then obviously the other one can say that I don't want to continue. It is dissolved if one of the partner is leaving. And if we talk about the companies, one of the member is leaving, so obviously
Dissolved. The
the company.
statement is saying that it gets dissolved, but why? My question is why? What's the logic behind it? Why should it be dissolved?
Hello? Ma'am, what I think is here, when a person leaves, then there will be a certain, like, for example, if his share was 30%, for example, we are three partners, and my share was 30%, then there should be a consent between the other two partners that how much you are going to like
Yeah, a new
split.
agreement would be formed then.
Exactly. That's the point. That when we are partners, we are already in an agreement which states that profit and loss will be shared between the three of us in 30 is to 30 is to 30.
Hmm.
Maybe 30 is to 30 is to 40, whatever. If I leave today, you will have to enter into a new agreement because now the profits, there are no more three people to share the profits or losses.
Yeah,
There are only
it's
two
going to be
people left
different.
behind to share the profit and losses, and therefore that old agreement cannot continue. So you need to make a new agreement, dissolve the old one, make a new one that, okay, now only two of us are there. So now the ratio would be 50-50 or 60-40 or 30-70, whatever. Okay. An LLP must therefore be wound up and similar to company manager agreement. All right, next. Limited partnership. Okay. Limited partners may not withdraw their capital. Rule number one. Rule number two. Limited partners may not take part in management of the partnership. Rule number three, limited partners cannot bind the partnership in a contract with a third party without losing benefit of limited liability. And rule number four, the partnership must be registered with Companies Act. Now, let me bring your attention to the most important point that, dear students, I know you guys are very good learners and you can, do rote learning within seconds. But in ACCA, if you are thinking that rote learning would be enough to clear the exam, that's not the reality. It's not going to happen. ACCA
That's true.
does not want rote learners to enter into the program and to qualify as ACCAs. ACCA wants that you guys learn to use your skills, your brains, and you are sharp enough to catch the tricks and techniques of the examiner. And where and how can he play? First things first, you have to accept the fact that English is not your mother tongue. Accept it. The earlier you accept it, the better for you. Accept the fact that we are not that proficient in English and we need to learn and we need to grasp and we need to work hard on it. That's number one. So the examiner has a good grip on English language because it's his first language, and he can turn and twist and uh, make a question out of the same question or the same knowledge that you have done in 1,000 ways. You must be intelligent enough to catch the trick, to catch the tricky question, and to use it for your purpose and score your marks. Rote learning will not help you all the time. It will help you to some extent, but not to clear the paper. Okay, so how and what is the thing that I'm bringing your attention to? May not, cannot, must be.
Hmm. Got it.
If the question says limited partners cannot withdraw their capital,
Wrong.
is it a right rule or a wrong rule? Is it true or false?
Wrong. Wrong.
Wrong. Wrong.
False. False.
Limited
False.
partners will never take part in management of the partnership. True or false?
False.
False.
Limited
False.
partners always
False.
bind the partnership in a contract with a third party without losing the benefit of limited liability. True or false?
False.
False.
The partnership may be registered with Companies House.
False.
False.
Are you getting the point? Where
Yes,
they
ma'am.
can play with you. So be
Big
alert.
probability.
Okay.
Hmm.
Next. So here we have completed the chapter and we are
Wow.
good to go. Any questions till now? Yes, one question Ali has. Let me just look at it. Let me see it right now.
100%.
You have shared it in a group or separately?
Separate.
Okay. Okay, the question is, in the context of judicial precedent, which of the following statement is correct when referring to obiter dicta? What is obiter dicta?
Like what toward like as per code wording, I guess.
It's a by the way statement.
By the way statement. Just
By
by
the way.
the way, it is said by the way. So what is the problem over here? It is binding on inferior courts hearing a similar case in the future. It is binding
Hmm.
on all the courts hearing a similar case in the future. It is binding on courts of the same standing hearing a similar case in the future. It is not binding on any courts in the future. Yes, Ali.
Because I what I got here is like if the court has announced a decision, then it should be binding on the court to follow the same in the future. This is what I got from this
No,
MCQ.
see मेरा बच्चा. Obiter dicta means by the way statement. By the way, अगर एक जज बाय द वे कुछ कह रहा है तो बाय द वे वो बहुत सारी चीजें कह सकते हैं दैट ओ प्लीज एक्सक्यूज मी आई नीड टू गो टू द वॉशरूम ओ
हाँ.
आई एम थर्स्टी लेट मी हैव अ सिप ऑफ वाटर so that does not make it a binding statement for any court. Agree?
Agree.
Clear? This is obiter dicta. Nobody is binding, so the fourth option is correct, that it is not binding on any courts in the future because it's a by the way statement.
Okay, okay. ठीक है.
Okay, ji. All right. So thank you very much. Inshallah, see you tomorrow with a new chapter. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.
You too, ma'am.
Hafiz, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Allah.
man.